So I'm talking to Dr. Chase Hayden today at the Hayden Institute, and we wanted to have a conversation around what are some of the everyday things that we can do for ourselves and our children that don't require a lot of extra work, whether it's extra knowledge, knowing, all right, I need to do this, or requires us to spend a lot of extra money to be able to just handle those normal day-to-day things that help bring us better health, better vitality, and better performance. What would you say would be the top 10 things, either for myself or as a parent, that I could do for my family that everyone could do and they're not doing?
So the top 10 things that you could do to improve health and wellness inside your own home and with that of your family. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So we can start pretty basic and just look for things that involve what we put into our bodies. So water, for example, is a great place to start. Most Americans are considered to be dehydrated today. And that basically means we're just not consuming enough water. Or what we are putting into our body is causing us to not be able to hold that water as much as we would like. Things like artificial sugars, sweeteners, cakes and pastries, etc. cause us to be dehydrated. So a first start would be to increase our water consumption. Second, we would want to increase our water when we're not eating. So if you only have a limited space or a limited amount of space inside your belly and you're filling that up with food and with water, it's going to be harder for your body to digest the foods that are in there because the gastric juices or the stomach juice no longer digest your food as it gets diluted. The second thing you can do to help your body to become healthier is to drink water when you're not eating meals. As you eat and you drink more water, your gastric juices or your stomach juices that break down your food become diluted. So therefore, for better absorption and breakdown of foods that you eat, you would want to drink less water with your meals, but drink a lot of water when you're not eating. A third thing you can do to help yourself to become more healthy is to eat more things that we know to be good for us. These are your fruits, your vegetables, your good healthy meats, etc. We all know that sugar is not something that our bodies need. We don't need the pastries or the donuts or the cakes and the candy or even the sodas. What those do are deplete our bodies of nutrients, they make it harder for us to be healthy, and they cause our body to work harder as it gets toxic. So just eating the good fruits and vegetables like your parents always told you is a great place to start. Now that we're eating these good fruits and vegetables, if you want to be a little bit more picky and start to affect the way your body can handle itself, the fourth thing you can do to be healthy is to monitor when you're eating. In Chinese acupuncture, digestion starts to slow down around 9 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening and starts to rev up again about 8 or 9 in the morning. The best thing you can do when eating healthy foods is not eat them after certain periods of time. That means no going out at midnight to eat a bowl of ice cream and watch your favorite soap operas that you get to catch up on, or not drinking a Coke right before bed, or having another piece of pie. But basically, as you're eating good healthy foods like your fruits and vegetables, eat them earlier in the day and then stop eating after about 9 o'clock. The fifth thing you can do is limit your fruits in the evenings. Fruits have sugars in them, and they're good sugars, of course, but they still act as sugars in our body. They cause our blood sugar to change, they cause us to have more energy and get a little bit revved up. As we limit our sugars in the evenings, or after about 4 o'clock in the evening, or in the afternoon, our bodies will be able to calm down easier at night, and therefore let us go to sleep more efficiently and become more well rested in the afternoon or in the evening hours. The fifth thing we can do is limit when we put the fruits and sugars into our bodies. If we're having fruits or sugars in the morning or in the early afternoon, that's a much better way for our body to tolerate it than to eat those same fruits at about 8 o'clock at night. So fruits have sugars in them, and even though they're good sugars, they still cause our body to rev up and make it harder for our body to calm down at night when it's time to go to bed. So limit your fruit intake to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon or earlier. When going to sleep, the sixth thing you can do is to go to sleep earlier. We all stay up late. We've all had our moments, but the best way for us to be healthy is to get the rest we need. Most of us as Americans do not get adequate rest. We go to sleep too late, we have too many stimulants in our bodies when we try to sleep, and we lay awake at night and we're restless. We may have interrupted sleep as we're getting up to go to the restroom, etc. The earlier we go to sleep, around 10 or 10:30, the better off our bodies are going to be. And even though we may get 8 hours of sleep from 2 o'clock till 10 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be a much better 8 hours of sleep if we go to sleep at 10 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening and wake up at 6 in the morning. Our bodies will become more rested, more hormones like growth hormone, melatonin, and serotonin will be able to be produced within those hours when we go to sleep before midnight. The seventh thing you can do to be healthy is to go to sleep in as dark a room as possible. That means turning off all the TVs, unplugging all the lights, the night lights, covering up your little flashing clock with your radio, smoke alarm. Basically, the darker your room, the better. The darker your room is, the more melatonin your body can secrete, which will allow you to go into a deeper, better, more restful sleep. And we all need more sleep in our lives. The eighth thing you can do to be healthy is to avoid artificial sweeteners, refined foods, and sugars. These sugars, refined foods, or altered foods, cause our bodies to become more nutrient deficient. They displace minerals like calcium and zinc from our body, causing us to become more prone to infections. They cause us to be more restless and agitated at night when we're trying to go to sleep. And basically they make it harder for our body to do what it's intended to do, which is heal, repair, and function. So removing artificial sweeteners, refined sugars, and refined foods from our diet are a great way to be healthy. The ninth thing we can do to be healthy is to avoid certain foods that contain gluten and casein. Gluten is a protein found in certain grains such as wheat, rye, barley, and some oats due to cross-contamination, and casein is a protein found in dairy products. These two proteins act negatively on our nervous system. Basically, they act on opioid receptors in the brain, which are the same receptors that morphine and heroin act on. And we basically become addicted to these foods. They cause irrational behavior in children, they can cause restlessness, they can cause ADHD symptoms, and it's a growing trend in the autistic community to avoid these foods as well, because the autistic children also respond favorably to them. Now, even though you may not have an autistic child in your home, or even a child with ADHD, in our own lives, avoiding these stimulants, these proteins that act negatively on our brain, is a great step to move toward health and wellness. The 10th and final thing you can do to be healthy is be aware of what nutritional supplements you're putting into your body. Chemical stimulants, artificial preservative-laden products, etc., act just like artificial sugars and refined foods to us. They are stimulants, and although may create short bursts of changes in our body, are detrimental in the long run. Use only whole food quality products. Basically, when you read the ingredient label, it should be something your fourth grader can read. Made of carrots and beets, and if your fourth grader can't read it because it's a big, long chemical compound, it's probably not what your body's intended to consume. So, the 10th and final thing you can do to improve your health and that of your children and of your family is to only put whole food quality products into your body. I'm Dr. Chase Hayden.
Thank you, Dr. Hayden. That's very helpful to have resources that allow us as mothers and parents to be able to start caring for our families and children in a healthier, holistic way. Can you imagine the power at your fingers to improve you and your children's health right there in your home and kitchen? Seeing your children do better in school and you finally get a full night's rest so you can keep up with all their energy. Download Dr. Hayden's coupon, From His Family to Yours, for everyone's health.